Welcome back. The next section we are going to be working on is this beautiful honeycomb cable. So we will maintain the increases along the right edge. So you will alternate increasing 3 and 2 stitches at the beginning of every other row, and then you will decrease 1 stitch on your left edge as you are working. The return pass will decrease, and in between these we will develop the cable pattern. So for the ease of the tutorial, I am going to work on a project with the straight edges, just for you to be able to appreciate the cable in its full, because as we start working it on the shawl in this small section, you will work the cable over a few multiples where you won't see it fully developed until much later. So what you will need for cables is a cable needle. So this is a ordinary knitting cable needle. You can also use another hook which is similar size to the one that you are using for your project. So this would be 4mm Tunisian crochet hook, or you can use a pencil. I've used pencil before to do my cables, so I'm going to show you and demonstrate how to do this honeycomb cable. So I've started a few rows of Tunisian knit stitch just for the ease, and then we will dive right in. So these cables are worked over 6 stitches, and they are split into groups of 3. So you will work 3 stitches and then you will manipulate them over the next group of 3 stitches. So the first one, for the first cabling row that we have in our stitch pattern, is we will work the C3F. So what C3F means, that you take 3 stitches, you put them on the needle, hold them at the front, work the next 3 stitches, and then slide the stitches from the cable needle onto the Tunisian crochet hook. So I'm going to work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2, and 3. I slide them on the cable needle and I will hold them at the front. So we will work Tunisian knit stitches in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. We will take the stitches on the cable needle and we will slide them on the hook, placing them in front of the stitches that we just worked. This of course will pull your fabric in, so you want to make sure that you are not working your stitches very tight, because you would not be able to cross them, but at the same time they shouldn't be too loose, otherwise the cables would be rather flat and they would not pop out. So you want to have those cables adding you that beautiful texture and thickness to your project. We will then work C3B. So this is a very similar cable to the C3F, other than we will work we will hold the cable needle at the back. So we will work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2, and 3. We will slide the stitches onto the cable needle. We will hold these at the back and then work Tunisian knit stitch in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And we will slide those stitches from the back to the front, like so. So again, you see that the crossing the stitches cause the fabric to be pulled in, and then we will repeat that one more time. So we will work 3 Tunisian knit stitches 1, 2 and 3, slide them on the cable needle and hold them at the front. Next 3 Tunisian knit stitches and cross slide the stitches from the cable needle onto the hook, like so. We are now on our last repeat, so this would be Tunisian knit stitches or knit stitch in next 3 stitches, place the stitches on the cable needle, you will hold them at the back this time. Next 3 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2 and 3, and slide the stitches from the cable needle onto the hook, like so. For me, I will finish with an end stitch, but if you are following the stitch pattern, you will have a different way how you finish the row. So now for the return pass, you will be doing the standard return pass with the decrease to be able to maintain the shaping. For me, it's just standard return pass if I am just working the pattern even without any decreases or increases. So I will do a standard return pass. So on the return pass, you will need to be a little bit cautious or as not to lose the loops, because now they are very tightly packed on the hook. So it's very easy to either drop one stitch or add a stitch between the stitches that are crossed. So we just need to pay extra attention, making sure that we are only doing yarn over pull through 2. So the return pass for the cabling row might take you a little bit longer, but once you get into it, it becomes quite easy to kind of guard your stitches. Okay, so you will work all of the stitches off as per the standard, as per the return passes that you worked before. Just takes a little bit more practice, it's a bit more fiddly on this row. Oops, almost lost my loop there. Okay, and the next 3 rows will be worked as Tunisian knit stitches across the row. So I'm just going to show you one of these. As you can see, the stitches are crossed, so again it just requires a little bit more attention on this row to make sure that you worked between the front and back vertical bars and not somewhere else in some other space. So this row might take you a little bit longer before you get used to feeling the stitches and seeing where you are placing your hook. So this is a nice change when you work the cables, where you've got a one row for the cables where you really need to pay attention and focus and concentrate, making sure that you are working the right cable, crossing the right number of stitches, not dropping any stitches by accident, and then 3 rows where you just need to focus on the shaping and working Tunisian knit stitches across the row. So it gives you nice a break between those more demanding rows where you work cables. Okay, I've got one more repeat to do, and again you will work standard return pass with decrease. For me, it is just a standard return pass. And then an end stitch Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, work my standard return pass and work 2 more rows of Tunisian knit stitches even, and then I would meet you on the row number 5 where we work the next set of cables. We are back to the next cabling row, and for the second row we will work the opposite cable that we worked in the first cabling row. So we started with C3F, so we're crossing at the front, so at this time we will cross at the back. So we will work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, slide them onto the cable needle and hold them at the back, followed by 3 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2 and 3. We'll then take the cable needle and slide the stitches onto the Tunisian crochet hook. So the second cable was crossed at the back, so we'll cross at the front. So we work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, place them on the cable needle and hold them at the front. Work the next set of 3 Tunisian knit stitches, slide the stitches from the cable needle at the front onto the hook. The next one will be at the back, so work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, slide them on the cable needle, hold them at the back. Next 3 Tunisian knit stitches, slide the stitches from the cable needle onto hook, and then the last repeat, 3 Tunisian knit stitches, slide them on the cable needle, hold them at the front. Next 3 Tunisian knit stitches, place the stitches from the cable needle onto hook, and for me it's an end stitch. You will have a different end of the row, and as before we will work standard return pass, paying attention, making sure we are not dropping any stitches, and then again after the cabling row you will have 3 rows of working Tunisian knit stitch across the row. That's it. That's how you crochet the honeycomb cable pattern. The next tutorial we will be talking about the color work. So there is a easy color work combined with ribbing to give it a little bit of a texture, just to maintain the theme of the project. So we will be looking at the first color work section. Can't wait to meet you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.